President Buhari finally sacks service chiefs, appoints fresh hands. CBN opposes lockdown, retains interest rate at 11.5%. Oil communities demand scrapping of NDDC. On entertainment, exhibitors name Omogeto as the highest grossing Nollywood movie of all time. Details of this and more after this break. I'm Benjamin Kaduri. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has sacked Nigeria's service chiefs with immediate effect. He also appointed new hands to take over the batons of piloting in the security affairs of the country. Special advisor on media and publicity to the president, Femi Adesina, made this known in a statement today. The new service chiefs are Major General Leo Irabo, Chief of Defense Staff, Major General I. Atahiru, Chief of Army Staff, Rear Admiral A.Z. Gambo, Chief of Naval Staff, and Air Vice Marshal I.O. Amao, Chief of Air Staff. Additionally, said Buhari has accepted the immediate resignation of the service chiefs and their retirement from service. The Nigerian leader also congratulated the new service chiefs and urged them to be loyal and dedicated in the discharge of their responsibilities. The sacked service chiefs are General Abayomi Olonishakin, Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Tukor Buratai, Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ekwe Ibas, and Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. The move by the president comes after several demands by Nigerians and the president replace the service chiefs and rejig Nigeria's military apparatus to effectively combat the security challenges confronting the nation in recent times. The Monetary Policy Committee, MPC, of the Central Bank of Nigeria on Tuesday urged the federal government not to consider another round of lockdown. The governor of CBN, Godwin Emefiele, made this known in Abuja at the end of the first MPC meeting in 2021. Emefiele said the bank will work with the fiscal authorities to revamp the economy by collaborating on policy implementation. He also disclosed that the CBN has secured approval from President Muhammadu Buhari to restructure the Nigeria Commodity Exchange. The CBN governor said the bank can no longer sit back and watch unscrupulous commodity merchants hoard commodities and force the prices of commodities to be high. According to Emefiele, the CBN owns 60% of the Nigerian Commodity Exchange, and it will take charge of running the exchange to international standard. At the end of the meeting, Godwin Emefiele announced that the committee unanimously agreed to retain the current monetary policy stance by leaving monetary policy rate, MPR, at 11.5% and retain the cash reserves ratio at 27.5%. Also retained are the liquidity ratio, which was left at 30%, and the asymmetric corridor, which was left at plus 100 and minus 700 basis points around the MPR. The national president of the host communities of Nigeria producing oil and gas, Chief Benjamin Tamara Nebi, on Tuesday called on the federal government to scrap the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC. Tamara Nebi made this assertion while speaking to reporters at the sidelines of a public hearing on the Petroleum Industry Bill, PIB, organized by the Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum, Upstream, Downstream, and Gas in Abuja. He advocated that the NDDC should be disbanded so that funds meant for it can be given directly to the oil host communities for even and quality development of the oil-producing areas. The host community said the call has become necessary following revelations of mismanagement and fraud by the sacked Interim Management Committee, which was exposed following a probe by relevant National Assembly committees. The Standard Organization of Nigeria, SAN, has impounded 2 container loads of imported used tires in Port Harcourt. The products, according to Sun, in a statement, were seized while they were being offloaded into a warehouse at the Ikoku Motor Spare Parts Market in Port Harcourt, and was sequel to an alert provided by a patriotic Nigerian to officials of the Sun, who moved to the site with the support of security agents. It explained that the used tires were concealed in containers of imported used vehicles to beat regulatory procedures. The organization stated that the importer, Uchenna Ibe Wuteng, in the company of the chairman, Port Harcourt Motor Spare Parts Dealers Union, High Chief Anthony Iwu, in a written undertaking, had considered the consignment of Sun for destruction. He pleaded for leniency from prosecution and promised to desist from dealing in substandard products henceforth. Farouk, Director General Sun, commended the informant, the security personnel and Sun officials for their patriotism in carrying out the enforcement activity, and called on Nigerians to assist Sun in protecting the citizens by providing useful information on standards infractions. Coming up in a moment after the break, court dismisses exam fraud charges against Adeleke's principal and others. Details in a moment.
Seconds. There's a lot happening around us, but we can't be everywhere all the time. We've got work, families, and chores to cater to, and most importantly, time to rest. And that's why having reliable partner like KUFM News is important. Sleeping? We don't. We work round the clock, bringing you stories as they break from Nigeria and across the world. We would stop at nothing to keep you informed, because KUFM News is all about you and stories that affect you. Politics, business, human interests, sports, entertainment, just name it. We've got you covered. KUFM News. Timely, precise, spot on.
Welcome back. Still in the news, Justice Inyang Ekwo of the Federal High Court in Abuja on Tuesday dismissed the examination fraud charges brought against the secondary school principal, Aregbesola Mufutau, and 3 others who were facing trial along with the former governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the 2018 election, Ademola Adeleke. He discharged and acquitted the 4 persons accused of committing the alleged examination malpractices from the 7 amended counts while delivering a ruling in their no-case submission. The police had, in 2018, arraigned Adeleke, along with Sikiru Adeleke, the senator's relative, Aregbesola Mufutau, the school principal, Badamosi Thomas Ojo, a school registrar, and Dare Samuel Olutokwe, a teacher, on 4 counts bordering on examination fraud. However, the court had last year freed Adeleke from the charges after it was withdrawn by police. Delivering his ruling on the no-case submission, Justice Ekwo held that the prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case. Ekwo further held that the burden of proof rested on the police, which, according to him, failed woefully in discharging the burden by not calling relevant witnesses. The National Examinations Council, NECO, has fixed new dates for the 2020 Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination for external candidates. The council stated the new dates followed requests by candidates to be given more time to complete their registration process for the examination. According to NECO, the examination, which was earlier scheduled to commence on Monday, 1st of February 2021 and end on Wednesday, 3rd March 2021, will now start on Monday, 8th February 2021 and end on Wednesday, 10th of March 2021. Spokesperson for NECO, Aziz Sani, stated this in a statement on Tuesday. The statement advised candidates to access the revised examination timetable on the council's website. An Oyo State-based human rights activist, Sunday Adeyemi, says over 50 million naira worth of property was lost to the inferno after unknown hoodlums set ablaze his house in Ibadan. Igboho, the man in the center of the recent eviction controversy in Oyo State, made the comments in Ibadan on Tuesday. He said the arsonist broke the gate to the building to gain entrance before setting the house on fire, and added that the two people living in the house fled for their lives in the chaos. Igboho also stressed that he was not a political thug available for hire. Meanwhile, no fewer than 70 lockup shops were raised Tuesday at Alade Market, Shomolu, Lagos State. The incident was said to have occurred at about 1:05 a.m. due to a power surge in the market. The fire outbreak occurred barely 10 days after some shops were razed at Ijesha Market at Surulere, Lagos State. The Director General, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, NASEMA, Dr. Olufemi Oke-Osanyintolu, who confirmed the development, said the agency's firefighters, alongside the Lagos State and Federal Fire Services, were mobilized to the scene to fight the fire as thorough damping down exercise was carried out. However, the impact of the inferno affected 70 shops, while the extent of destroyed goods was still being assessed at press time. Osanyintolu urged members of the public to ensure their appliances are switched off once not in use to prevent voltage surges. He said the agency firefighters, alongside the Lagos State and Federal Fire Services, worked to complete thorough damping down exercise. The initial post-disaster assessment indicates that 70 lockup shops have been affected, while the extent of destroyed goods is still being assessed. The operation has been concluded. Coming up in a moment on our entertainment news, exhibitors name Omogeto as the highest earning Nollywood movie of all time. Details in a moment after this break. You're still on to Newsbreak on K92.7 FM. On entertainment, the 2020 comedy film Omogeto has officially broken a 4-year record by knocking off Kemi Adetiba's 2016 comedy, The Wedding Party. The movie has been Nollywood's highest grossing movie with 453 million naira. According to Cinema Exhibitors Association of Nigeria, CIAN, the 2020 comedy film has so far grossed 468,036,300 naira after holding the #1 spot for its 3rd week in a row. In the 3rd place is The Wedding Party with 433,197,377 naira. The Bellows' latest feat is probably the most shocking news in recent times, as it comes amid a pandemic that crippled the film industry for months. Released on Christmas Day 2020, the movie, which is a sequel to 2010 trilogy Omogeto, follows the chaotic life of Shalewa, also known as Lefty, Funke Akindele. Lefty struggles between living a life of wealth and comfort provided by her adopted mother or returning to her ghetto lifestyle. The comedy stars Akindele in the dual role of Ayomide and Lefty, Tinamba Adebayo Salami, aka Ogabelo, Chioma Akpota, Bimbo Thomas, Eniola Badmus, Deyemi Okanlawon, Zubi Michael, Mercy Aigbe, Timini Egbuson, Alex Ekubo, among others. And that's the news, but before we go, a quick recap of the headlines. President Buhari appoints new service chiefs. CBN opposes lockdown, retains interest rate at 11.5%. Oil communities demand scrapping of NDDC. Do remember that the continued unity of Nigeria is a collective responsibility. Be sure to play your part. Do not forget, you can listen to us anywhere in the world by visiting our website at kufm.net or download our mobile app from the Google Play Store. We're also live on YouTube at KUFM Nigeria, and you can also listen to us on radiogarden.com. KUFM Newsbreak was produced by Musakai Uwajai. I am Benjamin